Discipline is the bridge between your goals and accomplishment. Have you ever set a goal with all the excitement in the world, only to watch it fade away after a few days? You're not alone. Most people struggle with sticking to their plans, not because they lack talent or ambition, but because they haven't mastered self-discipline. It's the silent force behind every success story, the invisible thread that ties dreams to reality. Today, I'm going to share 7 powerful techniques to master self-discipline techniques that will help you push past procrastination, stay focused, and achieve your goals, no matter how big or small. Whether you're aiming to build a successful career, improve your health, or develop better habits, these strategies will give you the tools to stay on track when motivation fades. Stay with me for the next few minutes as I break down these life-changing techniques. By the end of this video, you won't just understand what self-discipline is, you'll know exactly how to apply it in your life, starting today. Your journey to becoming the best version of yourself begins right now. Let's dive in. Technique 1. Set clear goals with a strong whys. Self-discipline begins with clarity. Imagine trying to navigate through a dense forest without a map or compass. That's what life feels like without clear goals. You're moving, but you don't know where you're headed. When your goals are vague, your efforts become scattered, and it's easy to lose focus or give up when things get tough. But when your goals are specific, measurable, and tied to a strong personal reason, your whys, they become a powerful motivator that keeps you going, even when the road gets difficult. The first step to mastering self-discipline is to set clear, actionable goals. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful, or I want to get in shape. What does success look like to you? What does getting in shape mean? Instead, frame your goals in a way that leaves no room for ambiguity. For example, I want to increase my monthly income by 20% within the next 6 months by completing a professional certification. Or I want to lose 10 kilograms in the next 3 months by exercising 5 times a week and following a healthy meal plan. These goals are specific, measurable, and time-bound, making it easier to track progress and stay disciplined. But clarity alone isn't enough. You need a strong whys, a deeper reason that fuels your commitment. Your whys is the emotional connection to your goal, the thing that keeps you pushing forward when motivation runs dry. It's the difference between wanting something and being willing to work for it. For example, if your goal is to lose weight, your why might be to live a healthier life for your family, to feel more confident in your own skin, or to reduce health risks and enjoy a longer, more active life. If your goal is to build a successful business, your whys might be to achieve financial freedom, create a better life for your loved ones, or make a positive impact in your community. When your whys is strong, it becomes your anchor, helping you stay grounded and focused, even when obstacles arise. To uncover your whys, ask yourself deep, reflective questions. Why is this goal important to me? What will achieving this goal allow me to do that I can't do now? How will my life change once I accomplish this? Who else will benefit from my success? Write down your answers and keep them visible on your phone, your mirror, your workspace, anywhere you can see them daily. This constant reminder of your purpose will help reinforce your commitment when you're tempted to give up. Once you have clear goals and a strong why, the next step is to break your goals into smaller, manageable tasks. Big goals can feel overwhelming, making it easy to procrastinate or lose momentum. But when you break them down into bite-sized steps, they become more achievable. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, don't focus on the daunting task of writing 50,000 words. Instead, set a daily goal to write 500 words, or dedicate 30 minutes to writing each day. These small, consistent actions add up over time and make the process less intimidating. Another powerful strategy is to visualize your success. Spend a few minutes each day imagining what it will feel like when you achieve your goal. Picture yourself crossing the finish line, receiving that promotion, or holding that diploma in your hands. Feel the emotions, pride, joy, relief that come with success. Visualization not only reinforces your why, but also programs your mind to believe that your goals are achievable, making it easier to stay disciplined. It's also important to track your progress regularly. When you see tangible evidence of your efforts, it reinforces your commitment and motivates you to keep going. Use a journal, an app, or a simple checklist to record your daily achievements. Celebrate small wins along the way, as they serve as reminders that you're moving in the right direction. Even when progress feels slow, remember that consistency is the key to long-term success. Lastly, be prepared for challenges and setbacks. No journey is without obstacles, and self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about staying committed even when things get tough. When you encounter difficulties, revisit your why. Remind yourself why you started and what's at stake if you give up. Use setbacks as learning opportunities, not excuses to quit. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your discipline and brings you one step closer to your goal. In summary, setting clear goals with a strong why is the foundation of self-discipline. When you know exactly what you want, why you want it, and how to achieve it, you create a roadmap for success. Your goals give you direction, your whys gives you motivation, and your daily actions turn your dreams into reality. Remember, self-discipline isn't about willpower alone. It's about having a purpose so powerful that it drives you to keep going, no matter what. So take the time to define your goals, connect with your why, and start taking consistent steps towards the life you want to create. Your future self will thank you. Technique 2, create a routine and stick to it. Self-discipline thrives on consistency, and the best way to achieve consistency is through a well-structured routine. Think about some of the most successful people in the world, whether it's athletes, entrepreneurs, or artists. They all have one thing in common, a routine that guides their daily actions. A routine isn't just about doing the same thing every day. It's about creating a structure that minimizes decision-making, reduces distractions, and makes it easier to stay focused on your goals. When you build a routine, you eliminate the need to rely on willpower alone because your actions become automatic. This is the secret weapon of self-discipline. Routines help us manage our time and energy more effectively. Without a routine, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer number of decisions we have to make each day. What to work on, when to exercise, when to take breaks, and so on. This is known as decision fatigue, and it can drain your mental energy, making it harder to stay disciplined. But when you have a routine, many of these decisions are made in advance. You know exactly what you're supposed to do and when, freeing up mental space for more important tasks. To create an effective routine, start by identifying your priorities. What are the most important tasks that align with your goals? These should be the anchors of your routine. For example, if your goal is to improve your fitness, your routine should include regular workout sessions. If you're trying to build a business, set aside dedicated time each day for tasks like marketing, product development, or networking. Once you've identified your priorities, schedule them into your day at times when you're most productive. Some people are early birds who thrive in the morning, while others are night owls who do their best work in the evening. Pay attention to your natural rhythms and design your routine around them. One of the most powerful routines you can develop is a morning ritual. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. A productive morning routine might include activities like exercising, journaling, meditating, or planning your day. Even something as simple as making your bed can create a sense of accomplishment and order that carries through the rest of your day. The key is to start your morning with intention, focusing on activities that energize you and set you up for success. Similarly, an evening routine can help you wind down and prepare for the next day. This might include reviewing your accomplishments, setting goals for tomorrow, or engaging in relaxing activities like reading or meditating. An evening routine signals to your brain that it's time to shift from work mode to rest mode, helping you sleep better and wake up feeling refreshed. But building a routine isn't just about structure, it's also about flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and there will be days when things don't go according to plan. The key is not to let these disruptions throw you off course. Instead of abandoning your routine entirely when something unexpected happens, adapt and adjust. Maybe you couldn't do your full workout because of a last-minute meeting, but you can still fit in a quick 10-minute exercise session. The goal is to maintain consistency, even if the details change. Another common challenge with routines is boredom. Doing the same thing every day can start to feel monotonous, leading to a loss of motivation. To keep your routine fresh and engaging, introduce small variations. For example, if you're working towards a fitness goal, try different types of workouts to keep things interesting. If you're building a writing habit, experiment with different topics or writing styles. The structure of your routine provides stability, but the variety within it keeps you motivated. It's also important to recognize that routines take time to develop. Research suggests that it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit. During this time, you might face resistance, procrastination, or the temptation to revert to old patterns. This is normal. The key is to stay committed and push through the initial discomfort. The more you stick to your routine, the more automatic it becomes, and the less effort it takes to maintain. To help reinforce your routine, consider using visual cues and reminders. Set alarms on your phone, place sticky notes in visible areas, or use apps that track your progress. These tools can help keep you accountable and remind you of the importance of staying on track. Additionally, consider sharing your routine with a friend or accountability partner who can support you and check in on your progress. One of the most rewarding aspects of sticking to a routine is the sense of momentum it creates. When you consistently show up and put in the effort, you start to see progress. This progress fuels your motivation and makes it easier to keep going. It's like pushing a heavy boulder up a hill. At first, it's incredibly difficult, but once you reach the top, the momentum carries you forward with less effort. Ultimately, creating a routine is about building a framework for success. It's about designing your days in a way that supports your goals and minimizes distractions. A routine helps you stay disciplined, not by forcing you to rely on willpower, but by making productive actions a natural part of your daily life. Remember, self-discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up consistently and doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. So take the time to build a routine that aligns with your goals. Stick to it and watch as your discipline grows and your dreams become reality. Technique 3. Eliminate temptations and distractions. Mastering self-discipline isn't just about strengthening your willpower. It's about designing your environment in a way that naturally supports your goals. One of the most effective ways to stay disciplined is to eliminate temptations and distractions that pull you away from your priorities. Think about it. Even the most determined person can struggle to stay focused if they're constantly surrounded by things that compete for their attention. The truth is, self-discipline becomes significantly easier when you set yourself up for success by removing the obstacles in your environment that make it hard to stay on track. Temptations and distractions come in many forms: social media, TV, junk food, clutter, and even certain people. The first step to eliminating them is to identify your biggest distractions. Take a moment to reflect on your day. When do you find yourself losing focus? What are the things that consistently pull you away from your goals? For some people, it's the constant buzz of their phone notifications. For others, it might be the lure of Netflix or the temptation to scroll through social media. Once you've identified your distractions, you can start taking steps to reduce or eliminate them. One of the most common distractions in today's world is technology. While our phones, computers, and tablets are powerful tools, they can also be major sources of distraction if not managed properly. To regain control, consider implementing a digital detox. This doesn't mean you have to give up technology entirely, but it does mean setting boundaries around how and when you use it. Start by turning off non-essential notifications on your phone. Do you really need to be alerted every time someone likes your photo or sends you a meme? Probably not. Set specific times during the day to check your emails or social media, rather than constantly reacting to every ping and buzz. If you find yourself constantly distracted by social media, consider using website blockers or productivity apps that limit your access to these platforms during work hours. Tools like Freedom, Stay Focused, or Cold Turkey can help you stay focused by blocking distracting websites when you need to concentrate. Alternatively, you can create tech-free zones in your home, such as your bedroom or workspace, where devices are not allowed. This helps create a clear boundary between work, rest, and play. Another effective way to eliminate distractions is to organize your physical environment. A cluttered space can lead to a cluttered mind. When your surroundings are chaotic, it's harder to focus and stay disciplined. Take the time to declutter your workspace, removing items that don't serve a purpose or contribute to your goals. Keep only the essentials within arm's reach, things like your laptop, notebook, or any tools you need for your tasks. A clean, organized space can help you feel more focused and in control. In addition to decluttering, consider how you can design your environment to make it easier to stick to your goals. This concept is known as environmental design, and it's a powerful tool for self-discipline. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, keep nutritious foods like fruits, nuts, and vegetables easily accessible, while storing junk food out of sight or not buying it at all. If you want to exercise more, lay out your workout clothes the night before or keep your gym bag packed and ready by the door. The idea is to make the desired behavior as easy and convenient as possible, while making temptations harder to access. But distractions aren't always physical. Sometimes they come from within. Mental distractions like negative self-talk, anxiety, or overthinking can be just as disruptive as external temptations. To combat this, practice mindfulness techniques that help you stay present and focused. This could include deep breathing exercises, meditation, or simply taking a few moments to center yourself before starting a task. By becoming more aware of your thoughts and learning to manage them, you can reduce mental clutter and improve your self-discipline. Another key aspect of eliminating distractions is learning how to set boundaries with people. While it's important to maintain relationships and social connections, it's equally important to protect your time and energy. If friends, family members, or colleagues constantly interrupt you during your focused work time, have an honest conversation about your need for uninterrupted time. Let them know when you're available and when you need to focus. You can also use visual cues, like closing your office door or wearing headphones, to signal that you're in focus mode. Sometimes the biggest temptation, the urge to procrastinate, to put off important tasks in favor of easier, more enjoyable activities. One effective strategy for overcoming procrastination is the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself that you only need to work on a task for 5 minutes. Once you get started, you'll often find it easier to keep going. The hardest part of any task is usually just getting started, and this technique helps lower the barrier to entry. It's also helpful to create a distraction list. Whenever a distracting thought or idea pops into your head while you're working, like remembering to buy groceries or replying to a text, write it down on a piece of paper. This allows you to acknowledge the distraction without letting it pull you away from your task. You can deal with those thoughts later, once you've finished your focused work. Ultimately, eliminating temptations and distractions is about creating an environment that supports your goals and makes self-discipline easier. It's about taking control of your surroundings and your habits, rather than letting them control you. By removing the obstacles that stand in your way, you free up your time, energy, and focus to pursue the things that truly matter. Remember, self-discipline isn't about constantly battling temptation. It's about designing a life where temptation has less power over you. So take a look at your environment, identify your biggest distractions, and start making small changes today. You'll be amazed at how much more disciplined and focused you can become when you set yourself up for success. Technique 4. Practice delayed gratification. Delayed gratification is the art of resisting the urge for an immediate reward in favor of a larger, more meaningful goal in the future. This concept is fundamental to mastering self-discipline because it allows you to focus on long-term rewards rather than short-term pleasures. In a world that constantly feeds us instant gratification through fast food, social media, and endless entertainment, Developing the ability to delay immediate rewards is a crucial skill for achieving meaningful success in any area of life. The idea of delayed gratification was famously tested in the marshmallow experiment, where children were given a choice: eat one marshmallow immediately or wait 15 minutes and receive 2 marshmallows. The study showed that those who were able to delay their gratification and wait tended to have better outcomes in life, including higher academic achievement, healthier lifestyles, and greater overall success. The ability to resist instant temptation in favor of long-term benefits is a sign of emotional maturity and self-control, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can develop for mastering self-discipline. At its core, delayed gratification is about developing the ability to resist immediate rewards for the sake of future success. Whether you're saving money, building a career, improving your health, or working on personal growth, the ability to delay gratification helps you stay focused on your long-term goals, even when the short-term temptations are strong. It's about choosing to make the right decision in the moment, even when it's not the easiest or most pleasurable option. To practice delayed gratification, start by setting clear long-term goals that are important to you. These could be anything from financial goals like saving for a house or retirement to personal goals like completing a degree or improving your health. The more specific and meaningful your goal, the easier it will be to resist distractions. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve in the future, it becomes much easier to stay focused on the bigger picture and make the sacrifices required to get there. One of the most effective ways to practice delayed gratification is by creating a reward system. Rather than giving in to immediate temptations, reward yourself with something meaningful once you reach a milestone or complete a task. For example, if you're working on a fitness goal, reward yourself with a treat or a relaxing activity after completing a workout routine. If you're saving money, reward yourself with a small splurge after reaching a certain savings target. The key is to make the reward worth the effort and align it with your long-term goals. When you link your rewards to progress, it becomes easier to stay disciplined because you're still getting something enjoyable, but in a way that supports your overall success. Another powerful tool for practicing delayed gratification is breaking down larger goals into smaller tasks. When you're working toward a big long-term goal, it can be difficult to stay motivated because the reward seems far away. By breaking your goal into smaller, achievable steps, you can create more immediate rewards and experiences of success along the way. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, break it down into manageable chapters or word count targets. Completing these smaller tasks will give you a sense of progress and achievement, making it easier to stay on track. The key is to celebrate small wins, which will help you build momentum and reinforce the habit of delaying gratification. In addition to breaking down your goals, visualization is a powerful technique for reinforcing delayed gratification. Take a few minutes each day to imagine what your life will look like once you achieve your long-term goal. Picture the feelings of pride, accomplishment, and satisfaction that will come with your success. Visualization helps strengthen your commitment to your goals and makes the delayed rewards feel more tangible. The more vividly you can imagine your future success, the more motivated you'll be to stay disciplined in the present. Of course, the process of delaying gratification can be difficult, especially when faced with temptations that provide immediate pleasure. One strategy to help with this is the 5-minute rule. Whenever you feel the urge to give in to a temptation, tell yourself that you'll resist for just 5 more minutes. Often the initial desire fades away once you delay it for a short period of time. After 5 minutes, you'll find that you're able to make a more rational decision, and the temptation will lose its power over you. This technique is especially useful when you're working on tasks that require sustained focus or discipline, like studying or exercising. It's also important to remember that delayed gratification is a muscle that gets stronger with practice. The more you practice resisting temptations in the short term, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined in the long run. Start small, maybe by resisting the urge to check your phone during a work session or choosing a healthier meal option when dining out. As you build your self-control, you'll find that it becomes easier to make decisions that align with your long-term goals, rather than succumbing to momentary desires. Delayed gratification also requires a shift in mindset. Patience is essential, as the rewards of self-discipline often take time to manifest. When you choose the harder path of delaying immediate gratification, it might feel like you're missing out in the short term, but in reality, you're investing in a future that is far more fulfilling. Remember, every time you choose long-term rewards over instant pleasures, you're building a stronger, more disciplined version of yourself. In conclusion, practicing delayed gratification is one of the most powerful ways to master self-discipline. It's about resisting the immediate temptations that stand in the way of your long-term success. By setting clear goals, creating reward systems, breaking down larger tasks, visualizing success, and practicing patience, you can develop the self-control needed to achieve your dreams. The ability to delay gratification is not just about saying no to the easy pleasures of today. It's about saying yes to the extraordinary rewards of tomorrow. Technique 5. Embrace failure and keep going. Failure is often viewed as something to avoid or something that signals the end of a journey. Yet in reality, failure is not the opposite of success. It is an integral part of the road to success. When we embrace failure as a learning opportunity, rather than a setback, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for self-discipline and growth. In fact, many of the most successful individuals in history have faced repeated failures before they achieved their greatest accomplishments. The key is to view failure not as something to fear, but as a necessary step toward mastery. When we change our relationship with failure, we unlock the ability to keep going, even when things seem impossible. The first step in embracing failure is to reframe the way we think about it. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of our worth or abilities, we should view it as a temporary setback, a valuable lesson that will guide us in the right direction. Failure teaches us what doesn't work, allowing us to refine our strategies, develop resilience, and gain the experience needed to achieve our goals. When we fail, it's not the end of the road. It's simply a detour that provides us with important insights into what we need to do differently. Successful people don't see failure as final. They see it as feedback, a necessary part of the learning process that gets them closer to their goal. One of the most powerful examples of this mindset is Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his many failed attempts, Edison responded, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mentality of learning from failure, rather than being defeated by it, is what allowed him to achieve groundbreaking success. His perseverance and resilience, in the face of repeated failure, exemplify how important it is to keep going, no matter how many times we stumble. To embrace failure, it's essential to remove the fear that often surrounds it. Fear of failure is one of the biggest obstacles to self-discipline because it leads to procrastination, avoidance, and a lack of action. When we fear failure, we hold ourselves back from taking risks, trying new things, and stepping out of our comfort zones. The truth is, failure is not something to be feared. It's something to be welcomed. Every failure brings us closer to our goals by providing us with the lessons and experiences we need to improve. By reframing failure as a positive and essential part of growth, we can overcome our fear and move forward with confidence. One effective way to overcome the fear of failure is to shift our focus from the outcome to the process. Instead of obsessing over whether we will succeed or fail, we should focus on the actions we need to take to move forward. Success is not guaranteed, but the effort we put into the process is always within our control. When we shift our mindset from outcome-based thinking to process-based thinking, we free ourselves from the pressure of needing to be perfect and allow ourselves to learn and grow without fear of judgment. This approach builds resilience and self-discipline, as it encourages us to focus on what we can control rather than on things outside our influence. Another crucial aspect of embracing failure is developing resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after setbacks, and it is a key component of self-discipline. When we face failure, it's easy to feel discouraged or defeated, but resilience allows us to rise above those feelings and keep moving forward. Resilience is built through practice and persistence. The more we experience failure and continue to push through it, the stronger our ability to persevere becomes. Instead of allowing failure to define us, Resilient individuals view it as a temporary hurdle that they can overcome with determination and effort. A key strategy for developing resilience is to normalize failure. Understand that everyone fails at some point, and that it is not a reflection of your ability or worth. Failure is a natural part of the process, and it happens to everyone, from world-renowned athletes to successful entrepreneurs. When we normalize failure, we reduce its emotional impact and allow ourselves to learn from it rather than fear it. Instead of saying, "I failed, so I'm not good enough," we should say, "I failed, but I now know what I can do differently next time." This shift in mindset empowers us to keep going, even when things don't go according to plan. Resilience is also about developing patience. Achieving long-term goals takes time, and setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Often we may feel tempted to give up after experiencing failure, but patience allows us to keep going, even when progress seems slow. The most successful people are not those who avoid failure, but those who keep going despite it. Patience and perseverance are what ultimately lead to lasting success. When you learn to be patient with yourself and trust the process, you give yourself the space to grow, evolve, and eventually succeed. One effective way to cultivate patience and resilience is through self-compassion. When we fail, it's easy to be hard on ourselves and fall into self-criticism. However, self-compassion allows us to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a friend. Instead of berating ourselves for making mistakes, we can acknowledge the failure, learn from it, and continue moving forward without guilt or shame. This compassionate approach encourages us to keep going, even when things don't go as planned, and fosters a healthier relationship with failure. Finally, it's important to remember that failure does not define you. It is just one moment in time, not a permanent label. Every successful person has encountered failure, but what sets them apart is their ability to keep going. Embracing failure is a powerful act of self-discipline because it requires us to stay focused on our goals, even when the path is difficult. By embracing failure as a natural part of the journey, reframing our mindset, developing resilience, and practicing self-compassion, we can keep going, no matter how many setbacks we encounter. Every time we rise after a failure, we become stronger, more determined, and more disciplined. The key is to keep moving forward, knowing that failure is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. So, embrace failure, learn from it, and keep going. Your success is waiting for you just beyond the next obstacle. Technique 6. Build accountability and systems. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen self-discipline is by building accountability and support systems that keep you on track. Motivation can be fleeting, and willpower can run dry. But when you have external sources of accountability, whether through people, systems, or both, you have a safety net that helps you stay committed to your goals, especially when challenges arise. Accountability forces us to show up, even on the days when we feel like giving up. And it provides the encouragement we need to push through obstacles and setbacks. In fact, research consistently shows that people who share their goals and progress with others are more likely to achieve them than those who keep their plans to themselves. The first step in building a strong accountability system is to find accountability partners. People who will check in with you, offer support, and hold you responsible for your progress. These partners can be friends, family members, colleagues, or mentors who care about your success and are committed to helping you stay on track. Ideally, your accountability partner should be someone who understands your goals, respects your efforts, and can offer constructive feedback when necessary. They don't have to be an expert in your field. What matters is their willingness to support you and hold you accountable to the commitments you've made. One of the key benefits of having an accountability partner is that they provide an external motivation that pushes you to act, even when you don't feel like it. When you know that someone will ask you about your progress, it becomes harder to procrastinate or make excuses. It's easy to let yourself down, but it's much harder to disappoint someone else, especially someone who believes in you. The mere act of knowing someone is counting on you can be a powerful motivator to keep you going, even when it feels tough. For example, If your goal is to exercise regularly, having a workout buddy who expects you to show up at the gym can give you the nudge you need to push past the temptation to stay in bed. An important aspect of accountability is that it encourages consistent progress. When we work alone, it's easy to let deadlines slip, work at a slow pace, or put off difficult tasks. However, when we know someone else is tracking our progress, it forces us to stay on schedule and produce results. Your accountability partner will likely check in regularly to see how things are going, which provides structure and urgency to your efforts. This sense of accountability helps eliminate procrastination and ensures that you stay focused on the tasks that matter most. It's also crucial to be accountable to yourself. While external accountability is valuable, internal accountability is just as important. This means setting your own standards and taking responsibility for your actions, regardless of external pressure. To build internal accountability, it's helpful to regularly reflect on your goals and the reasons you set them. Write down your progress, track your success, and celebrate small wins along the way. This self-monitoring can be done through journaling, goal-tracking apps, or checklists. The more you track your progress, the more you can hold yourself accountable for the actions you take or fail to take, and adjust accordingly. Self-accountability helps you stay aligned with your deeper purpose and strengthens your commitment to your long-term goals. Another effective strategy for building accountability is public commitment. When you make your goals public, you're more likely to follow through because you've shared your intentions with others. For example, you might announce your goal to a group of friends, share it on social media, or write it in a blog post. By putting your goal out there for others to see, you create a level of pressure to succeed. People will be asked about your progress, which adds a layer of social accountability that motivates you to stay disciplined. Public commitment can create a sense of pride and responsibility, as you don't want to let others down or appear inconsistent. In addition to finding accountability partners, support systems play a crucial role in helping you stay disciplined. A support system is a network of people or resources that offer encouragement, guidance, and practical help as you work toward your goals. This could include family members who cheer you on, friends who offer advice, or mentors who provide expert insights. Support systems are especially important during times of struggle or doubt, as they provide emotional encouragement when the going gets tough. Having people around you who genuinely care about your success makes a huge difference in your ability to keep going when challenges arise. One way to strengthen your support system is by joining a community or group that shares similar goals. For example, if you're working on building a business, joining an entrepreneurship group can connect you with like-minded individuals who are facing similar challenges and can offer valuable advice and support. If you're focused on improving your health, joining a fitness group or a nutrition class can provide camaraderie and motivation. Being part of a group that shares your goals helps you stay engaged, inspired, and accountable as you work toward your aspirations together. Additionally, mentorship can be an invaluable source of guidance and accountability. Having a mentor who has already achieved success in your area of focus can help you avoid common pitfalls, stay focused, and gain confidence. A mentor can offer perspective, provide feedback, and hold you accountable for the steps you need to take to reach your goals. They can help you navigate challenges, offer strategic advice, and offer a wealth of knowledge from their own experience. The guidance of a mentor can make the difference between feeling lost and having a clear path to success. Lastly, track your accountability. Whether it's through regular check-ins, progress reports, or milestone celebrations, tracking your accountability system is essential for maintaining momentum. Knowing that your actions are being tracked and measured reinforces the idea that your efforts are meaningful and that progress is being made. It's also an opportunity to reassess and fine-tune your approach. If you're not making the progress you hope for, your accountability system can provide insight into areas where you may need to improve or adjust your strategy. In conclusion, building accountability and support systems is essential for mastering self-discipline. Whether through accountability partners, public commitments, support networks, or mentorship, these systems provide the external and internal motivation needed to stay focused and disciplined. By holding yourself accountable and surrounding yourself with a supportive network, you create an environment where success is not only possible but inevitable. Accountability ensures that you stay on track, keep progressing, and never lose sight of your goals. So build your accountability system today and let it propel you toward the life you've always wanted to create. Technique 7. Develop a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and potential are not fixed traits, but can be developed and improved over time through effort, learning, and perseverance. This mindset is a cornerstone of self-discipline because it transforms the way you approach challenges, setbacks, and personal growth. When you adopt a growth mindset, you stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable barriers and start viewing them as opportunities for growth and improvement. This shift in perspective allows you to stay committed to your goals, even when things get tough, because you believe that with effort, you can always get better. The first key to developing a growth mindset is embracing challenges. People with a fixed mindset often avoid challenges because they fear failure or believe that they lack the inherent ability to succeed. They see difficulties as a sign of their limitations and avoid situations that might test their abilities. On the other hand, individuals with a growth mindset actively seek out challenges because they understand that facing difficulties is a natural part of the learning process. Instead of shying away from a difficult task, they approach it with curiosity and determination, knowing that each challenge is an opportunity to learn and grow. When you start seeing challenges as chances to develop your skills rather than as threats to your competence, you begin to build the mental resilience required for self-discipline. Failure is another crucial aspect of a growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, failure is often seen as a reflection of personal inadequacy, something to be ashamed of or avoided at all costs. In contrast, people with a growth mindset view failure as a stepping stone to success. They understand that no one succeeds without facing setbacks along the way, and that each failure provides valuable lessons that can help them improve. Instead of being discouraged by failure, they embrace it as an opportunity to reflect, learn, and adjust their approach. By reframing failure in this way, you not only reduce the fear and shame often associated with it, but you also become more likely to take risks, try new things, and persevere in the face of difficulties. The more you allow yourself to fail and learn from those experiences, the more resilient and disciplined you become in pursuing your goals. A growth mindset also involves effort. People with a fixed mindset often believe that talent or intelligence alone determines success. They may think that if something doesn't come easily to them, they're not cut out for it, and they give up quickly. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset understand that effort is the key to improvement. They believe that with hard work, practice, and dedication, they can get better at anything, no matter how difficult it may seem at first. This understanding of effort as a critical component of success is a powerful motivator for developing self-discipline. It encourages you to push through the challenges and setbacks that will inevitably arise on your path to success, knowing that consistent effort will ultimately lead to progress and improvement. To cultivate a growth mindset, it's important to shift your internal dialogue. The way you talk to yourself has a profound impact on your mindset and your ability to stay disciplined. Instead of saying things like, "I'm not good at this," or "I'll never be able to do this," replace those thoughts with more constructive affirmations. "I'm still learning," "I can improve with practice," or "Every setback is an opportunity to grow." By consciously changing the way you speak to yourself, you reinforce the belief that growth is possible, which helps you stay motivated and disciplined in your efforts. Another critical element of a growth mindset is the willingness to embrace feedback. People with a growth mindset actively seek out constructive criticism because they see it as a tool for improvement. Rather than taking feedback personally or defensively, they view it as a valuable resource that can help them identify areas for growth. In contrast, individuals with a fixed mindset often shy away from feedback because they fear it will expose their weaknesses. Developing the ability to accept feedback without taking it personally is essential for self-discipline, as it helps you continually improve and refine your approach to achieving your goals. Feedback from others, whether from a mentor, colleague, or friend, can provide fresh insights that you may not have considered and help you identify blind spots that might be hindering your progress. A growth mindset also involves celebrating progress. When you adopt a fixed mindset, it's easy to get discouraged by how far you still have to go, especially when your goals are long-term or particularly challenging. However, people with a growth mindset focus on the progress they've made, no matter how small. They celebrate the small victories and use them as motivation to keep moving forward. Recognizing and acknowledging progress along the way helps maintain momentum, build confidence, and reinforce the belief that you are capable of growth and improvement. By taking the time to appreciate how far you've come, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages continued effort and discipline. To reinforce your growth mindset, try to surround yourself with others who have a similar mindset. The people you spend time with can greatly influence your own mindset. Being around individuals who value effort, embrace challenges, and view failure as an opportunity to learn can inspire you to adopt the same attitude. Seek out mentors, friends, or colleagues who share your values and are committed to personal growth. Their influence can help keep you focused and motivated, especially during times when your own discipline falters. Finally, a growth mindset is about seeing learning as a lifelong process. Life is constantly changing, and there will always be new skills to develop, new challenges to face, and new knowledge to gain. By adopting a mindset of lifelong learning, you remain open to growth and improvement throughout your entire life. This attitude fuels self-discipline because it shifts your focus from achieving a specific outcome to continually developing and evolving as a person. When you embrace the idea that you are always capable of learning, growing, and improving, you give yourself the freedom to pursue your goals with persistence and resilience, knowing that progress is inevitable with consistent effort. Developing a growth mindset is essential for mastering self-discipline. It transforms the way you approach challenges, failure, and effort, allowing you to persist in the face of setbacks and keep pushing forward toward your goals. When you believe that your abilities are not fixed, but can be developed through hard work and perseverance, you build the resilience, motivation, and self-discipline necessary to achieve success. By embracing challenges, learning from failure, celebrating progress, and committing to lifelong learning, you can cultivate a growth mindset that empowers you to accomplish anything you set your mind to. In conclusion, mastering self-discipline is not about being perfect or having unshakable willpower. It's about building habits and mindsets that consistently guide you toward your goals. By adopting the 7 techniques we've explored, you can create a solid foundation for success in every area of your life. From setting clear goals with a strong why to embracing challenges and learning from failure, each of these techniques works together to help you stay focused, motivated, and committed to your aspirations. Developing a routine, eliminating distractions, and practicing delayed gratification are powerful ways to stay on track, while building accountability and support systems ensures that you have the encouragement and responsibility you need to keep going, even when motivation wanes. Finally, cultivating a growth mindset allows you to view challenges as opportunities, ensuring that setbacks don't derail your progress, but instead strengthen your determination. Remember, self-discipline is a journey, not a destination. It requires consistent effort, reflection, and the willingness to learn and adapt. By applying these techniques, you're not just building self-discipline, you're building a better version of yourself, someone who can achieve their goals and overcome obstacles with resilience and confidence. Now it's time for you to take action. Choose one technique to focus on today, whether it's setting clearer goals, creating a more disciplined routine, or embracing failure as a learning opportunity, and start implementing it into your life. Commit to taking consistent steps, and over time you'll see the transformation in your discipline and your results. The power to shape your future is in your hands, and every small action you take will bring you closer to the success you deserve. So take that first step now and unlock the disciplined, focused, and determined version of yourself that is ready to conquer any goal.